We ready?
Yes.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Robert J. Conti, the 3rd Chief of Police of the Metropolitan Police Department. I want to give you an update on the shooting situation that we had here this evening. Just about 8:20 p.m., members of the Metropolitan Police Department were in the area, heard gunfire in the area of 14th and Riggs Street Northwest. Members responded to that area, responded to the shooting scene within about 5 seconds after hearing the shots, where they located 2 individuals suffering from non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. It appears at this time that at least one of those individuals was the target of the shooting. The other individual is possibly an innocent bystander. Those individuals are recovering right now from an area hospital. They're recovering from their wounds and being treated at area hospitals. I think this really kind of speaks to the brazenness of some of the criminals that we're seeing in our community. Just prior to this shooting, members of the Metropolitan Police Department recovered a firearm just blocks away from here in the 1100 block of S Street. They recovered another firearm in the 1400 block at 14th and Irving Street. And we're just seeing a proliferation of firearms in our communities. We've recovered over 1,100 illegal firearms off the streets of the District of Columbia so far this year. That's on pace of where we were same time last year. We're asking for the public's help. If anyone has videos or anyone has information, to call us at 202-727-9099 or 50411. You can text us anonymously. You can also send videos to press at mpd@dc.gov. You can send videos to that, and we will be able to view any videos. We believe that there were a lot of people in the area when this occurred. We have a video that we will be releasing to the public immediately following this, as well as still images of our suspects and the vehicle that was involved in the shooting.
Chief, do you believe that either of the 2 men shot were bystanders, or do you think they were part of some kind of altercation?
It appears that at least one person was targeted, and the other person may be an innocent bystander. Again, this is very, very, very preliminary information.
Can you identify which one was the target and which one was the bystander?
No, I'm not able to make that distinction at this point.
How many shots were fired?
More than one shot.
You know, this happened just down the street from the place where a man was killed by a stray bullet leaving dinner. What do you say to people who feel like this is not a safe place for me and certainly not for my family?
Yeah, we had officers, again, who were here within 5 seconds. They were there in the block where the other shooting occurred. And I think what we say is we got to make sure that we're doing everything we can as an entire system here in the District of Columbia to hold offenders accountable when these things happen in our community. This is unacceptable. That's the bottom line. It is totally unacceptable behavior. I'm asking the community to take a look at these videos. If you know the person or the vehicle or somebody who was in that, there's one individual with a very distinctive hoodie that he was wearing. Please look at that very closely. And we're asking for the community's help to call us, again, 202-727-9099 or 50411. There's reward money from crime solvers as well as MPD that will be offered for anyone who provides information that results in the arrest and prosecution in this case. Any other questions?
You know, police were so close. They were right here when it happened, and I know that was in another case as well, and it shows how brazen people are. They can see officers, they'll still start shooting, and police can't stop it. And I think, again, it goes back to that safety element, that even when people see police, you can't necessarily feel like someone's not going to get shot or you're not going to get shot.
Well, ma'am, I can tell you this. We'll find the individuals, and we'll hold them accountable. And that's what we have to do as an entire city. When it comes to people who are not afraid to use guns in our community, there has to be a measure of accountability there. We have to make sure that these individuals are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Right now, as you know, we're coming out of this COVID environment. We need to get our court system back open. There are individuals out here on our street who we know are violent felons, and we need to make sure that these individuals are being held accountable for their actions that they commit in our community. It makes the community unsafe, it makes our police officers unsafe, and that is totally unacceptable.
Chief Conti, it has been nearly a week since the 6-year-old murder, followed by the shooting near Nats Park. You changed some tactics, but any plan to make more improvements to the tactics?
Yeah, we will certainly assess that, and with respect to those cases, we are making progress in both of those cases. I am hopeful that we will continue to do that and hopefully bring those cases to closure soon. Well, we'll go back, we'll assess our tactics, what we're doing right now. As you know, the mayor has directed the police department to make all officers available to do what we need to do to ensure that our residents of the city and our visitors to the city, that they feel safe.
With so many different agencies in the area, are you calling in any help from federal agencies? We saw Secret Service police cars here, FBI.
Yeah, we're working very closely with our federal partners. As you may know, we stood up our new NIBIN investigations unit that focuses in on shootings. That's a collaborative partnership between the Metropolitan Police Department, the ATF, as well as our United States Attorney's Office. So again, we have the resources that we need, and we also just need to make sure that we're holding these violent criminals accountable when they are brought into custody.
So are you concerned about some of the rhetoric surrounding policing right now and that making it harder for your officers to do their jobs and making it easier for criminals to feel like they can do something like this?
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of rhetoric around the issue. I mean, that's a national issue, but we're not going to accept that as an excuse. We're going to go out here, we're going to continue to do our jobs. We have a job to do, and that is to make sure that our communities are safe. And that falls on the shoulders of the Metropolitan Police Department. We have to do our jobs. I'm asking, again, as we go through and we reassess what we're doing, that everyone that's part of our justice system reassess what they're doing. The laws that are being made, the actions that are happening in court, are we all doing what we need to do to ensure that communities are safe? I can assure you that the Metropolitan Police Department, we're making those assessments daily. We're making changes daily. I wonder if everyone else within our system are doing the same.
Mayor, what would you say to citizens who are scared and outraged by this violence?
Well, I'm outraged. The chief is outraged. The community should be outraged. And I have to reiterate what the chief has said. And to answer our earlier question, we certainly are working with our federal partners. I think you know that the ATF has committed resources to the district, actually outside the district, to prevent the trafficking of guns in our city. We've also had conversations at the White House, including the Attorney General, who has also committed to make federal resources available, specifically the federal grand juries, so that some of the arrests and indictments that MPD seeks are actually moving through the court system. We have also strongly encouraged, talking about our federal partners, the supervision agencies. That would be CSOSA, who monitors people who have been released to the community, as well as the court supervision agency, who monitors juveniles who are court involved. We need all of those agencies, like DC government, to be open in person in administering those services. Keep in mind that the entire system hasn't been 100% and hasn't been in person coming out of COVID. And we want to make sure not just the DC agencies, MPD, DYRS, and the whole of DC government, but all of our agencies are working. What we saw tonight, and unfortunately what we saw over the last several days, is an illegal firearm brazenly used on DC streets. And we know that our investigators and detectives are going to track down every lead. Our citizens have already been helpful in supplying leads, video, and anything else that they saw, so that we can get these individuals off the street and hold them accountable. The last plea that I'll make to our residents is we need to get to them before they use their gun. And we have a plethora of programs and services, even for people who are criminally involved, to come in and get help from us. We're asking their family members who know that they have a gun in their home, they're involved in some criminal activity, they're involved in some beef, to reach out before they use that gun, because it can destroy the lives of so many people when that gun is used indiscriminately on our streets. And Mayor Brown, what do you say to the public, members of the public that are concerned that until the court system is back up and running, that this will keep happening? I say to them that we have to press on everything that we know about stopping crime right now. It won't be one single thing, and I say to them to just I'll repeat what I said. We need to get to people before they use their guns. That's how we prevent it. And if we can't prevent it, we're going to make sure that we hold people accountable for this. But I can assure every resident, and not just MPD, but all of DC government will be doing, checking everything that we're doing to make sure that we're addressing it as best and as fast as we can to stop the shooting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Beautiful women calling during my live. That would be bad.
They wouldn't call.
So, Olivia, how long have you been
In DC or
Yeah.
with NBC?
with MSNBC?
I've been with NBC for 7 years.
Oh, that's a long
Started
time.
at
I saw the New York City police badge.